Welcome to Friendship Importance, the podcast that explores the crucial role our friends play in our lives. I'm your host, Bella.
And I'm your co-host, joining Bella to dive into this fascinating topic.
Today, we're discussing why our friends might be more important than we realize. Recent research has shed light on the significant impact friendships have on our health, happiness, and overall well-being.
That's right, Bella. It's a topic that's often overlooked, but the science is clear. Strong friendships are vital for a fulfilling life.
So, let's explore why we should all be paying more attention to our friendships and how they shape our lives in ways we might not expect. Let's dive into the fascinating science behind friendship. Have you heard about Lydia Denworth's book, Friendship, the Evolution, Biology, and Extraordinary Power of Life's Fundamental Bond?
I have, and it's really eye-opening. Denworth explores how friendships are not just nice to have, but actually crucial for our health and well-being.
Absolutely. The research she presents is quite compelling. For instance, studies have shown that strong friendships can help us live longer and healthier lives. Exactly. And it's not just about longevity. Friendships have been linked to lower stress levels, improved mental health, and even better cardiovascular health.
It's interesting how friendship affects us on a biological level. Denworth's book mentions that social connections can actually influence our immune system and gene expression.
That's right. It seems our bodies respond positively to the emotional support and sense of belonging that friendships provide. The book also highlights how friendships can give us a sense of purpose and meaning in life.
It's amazing to think that something as simple as spending time with friends can have such profound effects on our overall well-being.
Let's talk about how friendships evolve as we age. It's fascinating to see how our social connections change from childhood all the way through to our golden years.
Absolutely. When we're young, our friendships are often based on shared activities and proximity. Think about those playground buddies and classroom pals.
Right, and as we move into adolescence, those friendships tend to deepen. Teenagers are particularly attuned to social connections, aren't they?
They sure are. The teenage brain is actually wired to be hyper-aware of social signals. It's a time when friendships can feel incredibly intense and important.
Then we hit adulthood, and things start to shift. Many people find it harder to maintain friendships once they're juggling careers and families.
That's true, but it's crucial to remember that friendships remain important throughout our lives. We shouldn't let them fall by the wayside just because we're busy.
Exactly. And interestingly, as we get older and retire, many people find they have more time for friendships again.
It's like coming full circle, isn't it? But the key takeaway here is that we shouldn't wait until retirement to prioritize our friendships.
Absolutely. Maintaining strong friendships throughout our lives is vital for our well-being. It's not something we should put off until we have more time.
Exactly. Whether you're 15 or 65, investing in friendships is always worthwhile. It's a lifelong endeavor that pays dividends at every stage.
It's interesting how we often put our friendships on the back burner when life gets hectic, isn't it?
Absolutely, Bella. It's all too easy to prioritize work, family, or even romantic relationships over our friendships.
Lydia Denworth makes a compelling point in her book about this. She argues that neglecting our friendships is actually a mistake.
That's right. She suggests that maintaining strong friendships is just as important for our well-being as other healthy habits we prioritize, like diet and exercise.
It's a powerful comparison. We wouldn't think twice about making time for a workout or preparing a healthy meal, but we often feel guilty about setting aside time for friends.
Exactly. But Denworth's research shows that strong friendships can have significant positive impacts on our health, longevity, and overall well-being.
So, in essence, grabbing coffee with a friend could be just as beneficial as hitting the gym?
In many ways, yes. It's about reframing how we view the time we spend with friends, not as a luxury, but as a necessity for our mental and physical health.
That's a perspective shift that could really change how people approach their friendships. It's not just about having fun. It's about investing in our long-term well-being.
Absolutely. And just like with exercise or healthy eating, consistency is key. It's about making a regular effort to maintain those connections, even when life gets busy.
Let's talk about what makes a friendship truly valuable. According to research, there are some key characteristics we should look for in our friendships.
Absolutely. The three main qualities that define a good friendship are stability, positivity, and reciprocity. Can you break those down for us?
Of course. Stability means the relationship is long-standing and consistent. Positivity refers to the overall good feelings and support you get from the friendship. And reciprocity is about mutual help and care. You're there for each other.
That makes sense. It's interesting how science has actually defined these qualities. But what about when friendships aren't so positive?
That's a great point. The research shows that negative relationships can actually be harmful to our health and well-being. But here's something even more surprising. Even ambivalent relationships can be detrimental. An ambivalent relationship is one where you have both positive and negative feelings about the person or your interactions with them. Studies have found that these kinds of relationships can lead to cardiovascular issues and other health problems.
Wow, I wouldn't have expected that. It seems like the quality of our friendships really does matter for our overall health.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that we should be intentional about our friendships and work on maintaining positive, supportive relationships. If a friendship is consistently negative or draining, it might be time to reevaluate it.
That's valuable advice. It's not always easy, but sometimes we need to set boundaries or even let go of friendships that aren't serving us well.
Now let's talk about some practical ways we can maintain and nurture our friendships. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, it really comes down to a few key things. First and foremost, we need to make an effort to plan time with our friends. It's easy to let busy schedules get in the way, but setting aside dedicated time is crucial.
Absolutely. And once we make those plans, it's equally important to follow through and show up. Consistency builds trust in friendships.
Exactly. Showing up isn't just about physical presence, though. It's also about being emotionally present and supportive.
That's a great point. How can we be more supportive friends, especially during challenging times like the pandemic we've been facing?
During tough times, it's important to check in regularly. Even a quick text or phone call can make a big difference. We should also be ready to listen without judgment and offer help when needed.
I agree. And in the context of the pandemic, we've had to get creative with how we maintain our friendships. Virtual hangouts have become a lifeline for many.
True. While it's not the same as in-person interaction, technology has allowed us to stay connected. We can have virtual movie nights, game sessions, or just casual chats to keep those bonds strong.
It's all about adapting and finding ways to nurture our friendships, no matter the circumstances. The key is to prioritize these relationships and make a consistent effort to maintain them. Now let's talk about something that's become increasingly relevant in recent times: virtual versus in-person friendships. We've all had to adapt to new ways of staying connected, haven't we?
Absolutely. It's been quite a shift for many of us. While technology has been a lifesaver during periods of social distancing, there are certainly differences between virtual and in-person interactions.
That's right. When we're with friends in person, there's a richness to the experience that engages all our senses. We can pick up on subtle cues, body language, and there's that natural flow of conversation.
Not to mention the ability to share a hug or a high five. Those physical interactions are something we really miss in virtual settings.
Definitely. And interestingly, our brains actually process in-person interactions differently. There's this natural rhythm of conversation that can be disrupted by technology lags in virtual calls.
That explains why some people find video calls so draining. But despite these limitations, virtual connections have still proven valuable, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. While it's not the same as being in person, many people have reported positive experiences with virtual interactions. It's allowed us to maintain connections that might otherwise have been lost.
And in some ways, it's even opened up new possibilities for connecting with friends who live far away.
That's a great point. So, while we may miss the full experience of in-person friendships, technology has given us a way to bridge the gap and keep our connections alive. As we wrap up today's episode of Friendship Importance, I want to emphasize the key takeaways we've discussed. We've learned that friendships are not just nice to have, but essential for our well-being and longevity.
Absolutely, Bella. The science is clear. Strong friendships can improve our health, give us purpose, and even help us live longer.
That's right. We've also talked about how friendships evolve throughout our lives and why it's crucial to prioritize them at every stage, just like we do with our diet and exercise.
And let's not forget the importance of being a good friend ourselves. Showing up, being supportive, and maintaining positive interactions are all part of nurturing quality friendships.
Exactly. I'd like to encourage all our listeners to take a moment and reflect on their own friendships. Are you making time for your friends? Are you being the kind of friend you'd want to have?
Those are great questions to consider. Maybe it's time to reach out to an old friend or make plans with someone you haven't seen in a while.
Absolutely. Remember, investing in your friendships is investing in your health and happiness. So let's all take action to strengthen our friendships today. Thanks for listening to Friendship Importance, and we'll catch you next time.